What is up, everybody? YouTube. I'm down here in the armory today. Had to get away, had to just get the hell away from everything. I've just had a crap day at work today. Been ridiculous. People that admittedly can't even do your job are trying to tell you how to do your job. Oh, anybody would love that. Anyway, I finally got done with all that crap and dealt with the whole headache of it. And I was like, man, let's get back up into Echoes of Mana. Been having fun in here just with the combat system. So, we did go through and actually clear this banner. We managed to get the other dude on it. So, another thing I've noticed in this game, I've been complaining that the gacha is so brutal. They have an answer for that, of course. I noticed today that they are selling $40 bundles that are guaranteed to get you one of the heroes. Now, honestly, as much as I hate to say this, that makes me feel a little bit better. Because now, instead of having to potentially spend $300-$400 to pull a hero, you can buy a $40 bundle and you will have a 4-star ticket, and it looks like the ticket is between one of the two heroes on the banner. So for $40 you will clear one of the banner characters. So that does make things a lot better. If a new banner drops, hopefully they're going to be doing this for anything that's a limited banner as well. Right, but here's another one of these bundles. You can only buy them once, obviously. I bought the $40 one, and it gave me one of the heroes automatically. So I got a dupe, and I got lucky with the crystals from it. I pulled the hero with the crystals, and then I threw the ticket, and I got a dupe of one of the heroes. So I managed to power up the other swashbuckler from the banner. So I was kind of looking into this and seeing what the difference is between the featured characters that are actually on the banner, Swashbuckling, Reese, and Xion, and like Angela from the banner. Because Angela from the banner is still technically the same Angela, she just has an ice spell. Her special's still the same, she's not really reworked as a character, she just has a different element of spell now. Instead of her fire spell, they give her an ice spell. And when she uses her special 3 times, it activates an ice spell that you can throw instead of a fire spell, because she is ice or water element instead of fire. So I'm assuming that when these banners drop that are like a different element, there's going to be some main heroes, like in this case it's Water Reese. And those characters are going to be completely reworked. They're going to be that new element. They're going to have a new skill kit. They're going to have new animations. Awesome. And then they're going to put in some of the old heroes and just make them that element. Maybe they'll just change one spell around for them. And that's what it's looking like they did with Angela. So I was going through and I wanted to make a good team. Well, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Point being is, this makes the gacha much better. I hate to say it, but you have to spend money to do this, but if you were going to spend money to pull on a banner, you're much better off just buying a $40 bundle, getting one of the heroes instantly, and if it's the hero you want, congrats, you just cleared the banner by only spending $40, and you're going to get some lapis out of it too, so you can do some more pulls for the other hero. So that does change things. Hopefully they keep these bundles coming that give you one of the heroes from the banner, especially if there's any limited banners. I'm going to be looking to see this. This might have just kind of saved this game, right? Because now, instead of being expected to drop $300 to $400 every single time a banner drops, you might just be able to buy their $40 bundle, get the hero you want, and you're all set. That, I think, is fair. It's more than fair, right? And if you want to go big, if you want to clear both of the heroes on the banner, maybe get the $80 bundle. It's going to give you one of the heroes for free, and then it's going to give you enough lapis to do, I don't know, 3 or 4 10 pulls. So you might pull the other hero from that. So I will say this, as bad as the gacha is, at least there are good bundles to counteract it. Maybe this is something that Square has learned about, clearly. So I got to give them props on that. There's also the Spirit Crystal bundles that, where are they? They were like these $10 bundles that also give you, they give you serums, like right here. And these serums permanently increase the stats of your characters, from my understanding of that. I've been holding on to all of mine, and I'm going to do a video once I actually start using them. Because character stats are very important in this. Speaking of which, the whole point of this video was to actually talk about, well, gear and the different stats that we need to work on different heroes. Let me give you guys an example. I was kind of noticing this when I was going through my party and equipping gear on people, because some of the gear we can farm, the special ability is plus 20% to wind damage or fire damage or earth damage, right? And then other gear gives you plus 18% strength or plus 18% constitution. So which gear do we want on which character, right? So from my understanding of it, correct me if I'm wrong, please. This is the way I understand it, right? Most heroes, even though, like, say this Reese right here, she is wind element. So she's going to summon a wind spell. But every single ability in her kit is not doing wind damage. If we actually look at her skills, her thrust does polearm damage. Charger is a buff, and then she just does that thrust thing. Where's her actual... Whirlwind Spear is physical damage. It's not wind. None of it's wind. So if you give this girl gear that gives plus 20% to wind damage, the only thing you are going to affect is the spell that Reese is going to... The wind spell that Reese is going to activate after she drops her special technique 3 times. Because she is giving you a wind token, 3 wind tokens makes a wind spell. So then that gear would be empowering the actual wind spell. Now, from my understanding, though, that's a spell, and the damage from that is going to proc, I think, off of your intelligence. This is where it's kind of cloudy for me. I might be wrong, right? But if that's the case, if it's procking off your intelligence because it's a spell, then you want somebody like Reese to use her special a bunch of times, and you want her to charge up the 3 tokens you need to cast a wind spell. Then you'd want to switch over to a mage with a high intelligence that has this gear on that's giving 20% more to wind damage, and then you would want that mage to throw that damn spell. Because that mage is going to have a higher intelligence, the spell is going to do more damage, and the mage has gear on him that does 20% more fire damage or wind damage, whatever the case may be. Another thing that leads me to believe this is that mages that actually use their intelligence stat, they have one of these skills in their ability kit that like does actual ice damage, and it will say it's magical damage. So if you're doing magical ice damage and you're equipped with gear that gives you 20% more to ice damage, it should still work with your magic. So that leads me to believe that these items, like these items right here that have the set effect of wind damage plus 21%, correct me if I'm wrong, but these items are best suited on a mage that actually does ice damage out of his kit. And that's going to cast the spell for you. And he's going to be able to do more damage with that spell because he has a higher intelligence. And he's going to be able to do more damage with that spell because he has wind damage 21% more. So these items are not only going to help him cast the spell, but they're going to help him use the skills from his kit that actually do that element of damage. So, that being said, my Reese is rocking the wrong gear. That's right. Don't get me wrong, this gear helps me when Reese, after she uses her skill 3 times and I use an earth spell, or I'm sorry, a wind spell, if Reese is doing it, that wind spell is doing 21% more damage from my understanding of it. The problem is the majority of Reese's performance comes from physical damage with a pole arm. So actually, I need to take these items off. I need to put stat increasing items on Reese. I need to put a set that gives her plus 18% more to her strength. That's going to increase her basic attack. That's going to increase her spear charge attack. That is also going to increase her special damage, right? What it's not going to do is increase her damage when she actually uses a spell. But that's okay, because I'm going to be switching over to a mage. The mage is going to be wearing these garments, and the mage is going to be using magic from his kit, which will be empowered by this. And ultimately, the mage will throw the wind spell that I need after I get all 3 wind tokens from Reese and from the mage. And then the mage can cast that, and that should get the 21% damage boost as well. That's how I'm thinking. Now, if I'm wrong about any of this, somebody please correct me. Yeah, I haven't been playing this game that long, but I can already see where I have misgeared some of my heroes, right? I kind of noticed this with Lady Black Pearl. I put a bunch of gear on her that increases light damage. And then I started looking at her, reading her skills, and I was like, wait, none of this shit is actually doing light damage. All of her attacks, all of her skills are just scaling off of her strength. So then why wouldn't I grind out some gear that is just increasing her strength, right? So these items that increase an element's damage, these item sets, I'm going to be putting them on a mage. Okay, all of the heroes that use physical damage to proc their special a bunch of times and to charge up a spell, they're going to be equipped with items that increase their strength. Right? And then when it's time to cast that spell, I'll switch over to the mage. He'll have these items, he'll get the bonus to it, and that's how I plan on doing monster spell damage. So, if I'm wrong about that, please somebody let me know, throw a wrench into this before I make all these changes. But that's what I'm going to spend today doing, pretty much. Going through and farming out some more gear that is giving a strength bonus. This is something I've also noticed with, obviously, let's see, the other Reese, right? Because I'm looking over the 2 heroes from the collab right now. Not the collab, from the banner, right? I'm looking at them, and as you can see, Reese has the wrong gear on, right? This is wind damage, or water damage plus 21%. Problem is, she's not doing any water damage. Ocean Spear is polearm damage. Double Thrust is polearm damage. Steady Sailing is giving a water damage plus 15% buff. So you would want to use Steady Sailing before you drop the water spell that you get from charging up 3 of the special technique tokens. Right, so if you're about to cast that spell, you can use Steady Sailing. That spell is water. It should do 15% more damage. And if you have this item set on, it's doing an extra 21% damage. So she can get 35% more damage out of water, right? The thing is, I'm looking at her stats. Her strength is higher than her intelligence. So I'm thinking she's going to be better off doing damage with a higher strength with her polearm physical damage. And I don't think that spell that she drops is going to hit as hard because she has a lower intelligence. I think that ability of hers, let's see, Self and Paired Ally, skill damage plus 10%, active allies water damage plus 15%. Okay, so she's going with Steady Sailing, she's going to improve her allies water damage by 15%, right? So I'm going to want to use her drop Ocean Spear a bunch of times, get a water spell ready, right? Use Steady Sailing, because this is going to increase my allies' water damage. Ocean Spear is also going to increase my allies' skill damage. She's going to buff my ally up. I'm going to switch over to my ally, which is this guy, Xian. Remember, Xian is now doing plus 10% skill damage, and he's also doing plus 15% water damage. As a result, he can use Aqua Slash. Aqua Slash is actually water magic damage. So right off rip from his kit, he's doing like 20% more water damage, and he has Aqua Slash to spam. That's going to greatly increase his damage. This ability kit, or the equipment he has, is also giving him 21% more to water damage. So now he's getting 15 plus 21. So let's say 35% more to water damage and 10% more to skill damage. So Aqua Slash is doing 40% more damage. And then after Aqua Slash, he can summon the spell, the water spell, that we've been throwing special techniques for to get water tokens for. He can throw the water spell, and his intelligence is higher than his strength. So he is more of a mage. And with all those bonuses from Water Reese, he should have a nice, huge damage bonus to water specifically. And at least this unit can use it. He can use water damage, water magic damage straight out of his skill kit, and he's probably going to be a better candidate to actually cast the water spell. So that's how I plan to use them in a team. They look like they're actually kind of made for it like that, right? You start off with Water Reese, and you have her do a shit ton of damage with her spear. And Reese attacks pretty quickly, and she can typically charge up her special gauge quick. So she can throw 3 specials real quick, get a water spell ready, switch over to the caster, Xian. He can pull out a bunch of damage, and then he can drop that water spell with a huge water bonus to the damage. A huge damage bonus to the water. Blah. Sorry. So this is how I've been looking at this, and obviously this is also how you want to group your heroes up. You notice the 30% bonus I'm getting to each of these teams because both of them match elements. My first team is 2 heroes that are earth element, wind. The second team, both of them are dark element, so they have that plus 30% bonus up there. And the last team is the new banner heroes, and they're getting obviously that 30% because they're both water element. So I just, I could take out the Dark Knights and put in another water team because I pulled some kind of monster hero that's water element. He uses an axe, so I have an axe coming from the reward from the ranked event. Maybe he can use that axe, we'll see. Right, and then I also have Angela that is water element, right? So if I didn't pull Xian here, I would put Angela in with Reese, and then Reese could do the same damn thing, buff water damage, and then Angela could cast her water spell and get more damage from it, and then Angela could actually cast the big water spell that we get from collecting special tokens, because Angela's going to have a higher intelligence. I'm pretty sure that big spell that we summon at the end, I think that is a spell, and I think the damage on that scales off of intelligence. If I'm wrong, I'm going to have to reevaluate like this whole system. And in that case, all the characters are going to be a lot more hybrid-ish. Because it's like you're going to need strength and intelligence on each character. Instead of being able to divvy it up and do all of like the wet work that requires strength with one hero, and then switching over to another hero that actually is better at casting and has more bonuses to that kind of damage. I think that's the way they have it set up, instead of every character is just hybrid AF. So if I'm wrong though, somebody please let me know, because I'm going to have to make changes to the equation. This is just kind of what I'm observing here though. I haven't dived really deep into this. I figured Any one of you out there would be able to correct this if I'm wrong. So, yeah, other than that, having a blast in here, it really is fun. The little combat system really is fun. Especially after, here's what I'll say, when you stop fighting enemies a group at a time and you actually start running through and crowd controlling them, that's where the real fun of this game comes in. Is like, I could fight my way through this room, or I could turn it into a big fun little shit show by running around and aggroing everybody, getting them all together, and then dropping my spells. And I've managed to do that on a couple levels that are extremely hard. Or there's levels that I couldn't beat at all until I realized that there was like 3 wizards on the map. If I just go through and I kill all those wizards one by one with Reese and dodge everybody else, then that level is a complete cakewalk. So that is fun, different little ways to clear the whole map. And a lot of times I'm finding it a ton of fun to actually aggro everybody, have them follow one of your characters, bunch them all up together. Positioning is key because you want to hit as many people as you can and interrupt with as much stuff as you can. And then it's just absolutely a blast to take out like 40 or 50 enemies all at the same time and stack your magic on it. And it's fast paced, right? It's fast paced, especially now that I know that, oh look, one of my green spells is ready to throw. Instead of just tapping the spell button, now I'm thinking, wait a minute, who's the best character to actually throw this green spell? Do I have a green mage? Oh, I do. I should switch over to him and have him activate the spell because he's going to have a way higher intelligence. He's also going to be equipped with gear that increase damage to that element. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. Unfortunately, now, that means that I have to grind out enough strength gear, enough of the gear set that increases strength or constitution. I was going to go with the strength one, but I'm going to need to grind out enough of those 5-star items. It's going to take all damn day for at least 3 heroes, because I have 3 heroes that are built wrong at least. My primary heroes that are on the front line using skills, they really need strength gear. So I've spent a lot of time grinding out gear specific to doing damage with this or that element. Anyway, don't make the same mistake I did. That's why I wanted to record this in case anybody else is kind of doing the same thing. Like, oh, Reese's a wind element. I'll just get this gear that increases wind damage by 21%. Cool, she'll do more damage all over the place. No, look at the skills. She's not doing wind damage. She's wind element. She's giving you wind tokens when she drops her special, but her special and all her skills are melee physical damage, right? So you're better off putting the gear on her that's just giving her a shit ton of strength. I also want to get some of the secondary accessories that give strength as well. I'm just at the point in the story where those items are dropping, so got a shit ton of grinding to do. Story's been fun so far too, and I'm actually excited to see some of the characters that they're going to bring to this title now. Now that the gacha has been kind of equalized a little bit by at least a decent bundle system. The problem is, folks, as soon as they take those bundles away, as soon as they drop a limited banner and there's not a bundle there that's going to guarantee you one of the heroes, that's going to be a huge fucking problem for me. So, and I guess I should start saving all my lapis up just in case that happens. I really hope it doesn't. I hope they keep those bundles coming to level out the crappy gacha system. Especially for limited collab heroes. And that's something that they will do in this game, I'm sure. There will be limited collab heroes. The other thing that kind of worries me a little bit, this is a game with dupes, where you combine dupes. And the last thing I would want to see happen here is for them to do the same thing as they did in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Oh, now you need to pull 6 copies of the same hero to get him fully powered up. And then if you have 2 copies of those heroes, so now you need to pull 12. If you have 2 of those, you can combine them into 1, and you can get +1 on their whatever. And then if you can combine another 12 of them into 1 and combine that one into them, you get a plus to all your stats. So if you just want a maxed out character, you just need to pull 32 fucking copies of him. Yeah, I'm not down with that. And as soon as Brave Exvius started doing that, I was like, well, when's it ever going to end? Because they could keep just making us combining dupes and dupes and dupes. You know, they could just make that go on forever, where you would need so many stupid copies of a hero that are hard enough to get, where it's just ridiculous. So hopefully they don't do anything like that here. We have the very base system for that, where you can pull dupes and you can combine them to strengthen one of them. Cool. Let's just hope that they don't take it 5 steps further than that. So yeah, other than that, if I missed anything, if I'm wrong about any of this, please leave me a comment. I know there's plenty of other people that play this game that have been cruising around this channel. So yeah, I want your input. Please leave me a comment. And always, thank you for your support, everybody. If you haven't liked or subbed yet, go ahead and do that, man. It really, man or a woman, it really helps this channel out a lot. Helps us stay afloat. And we are the Underground, and welcome. Later, folks.